Welcome to All In on Blue. I'm David. We're with Keith Taylor, and we've got our trusty Beehive broadcast producer here with us, BJ.
Happy to be here.
We want to thank our producer as well. Of course, All In on Blue. We are also all in on the scriptures. We hope you are too. So check out The Scriptures Are Real, who is always our wonderful sponsor. We appreciate them very much. Let's get into a recap. We had an amazing game.
What a game, man!
Double overtime, rain delays, the whole works.
Oh my gosh, what a game!
Down in Tucson, and let's talk about that double overtime first. Is that such a dramatic win? Does that help us? Does that hurt us? How do we come out of a double overtime like that? I mean, that was emotional.
I just want to talk quickly about the emotions of that game before getting into the details. At the end of that game, we were all jumping up and down, hugging each other. Grandma paced the entire fourth quarter. And she was like, I can't watch this.
Yeah, the game's on. The game's on, and she's yelling from the kitchen, did we win? Yeah. Did we score? Did we win? Grandma,
I've
come
never
watch.
seen her that stressed. Yeah. The entire fourth quarter.
And then she pulls in the middle of it. It's just a game, guys. It's just a game. Grandma, shut up. Sorry, Grandma.
Sorry, Grandpa, too.
Yeah. Oh, man.
But yeah, that was just, what a wild ride.
It's fun to have those games. I think that's what you live for as a football fan.
It's fun, but it's not good for my health.
No, it's good for my health. That's the highest my heart rate's been in a while. So, no, but in my opinion, that game is what BYU needed. I mean, yes, it wasn't what we wanted as far as an outcome overall. We won the game. We had some adversity, and we came from behind to win that football game in a tough way.
Yeah.
And it was fun to watch.
Yeah. I thought it was great. We had ups and downs, but to fight through and pull out a win against a very good team, that was a lot of fun.
I think a close game like that, overtime, any tight game, but particularly overtime and double overtime, even more so, will either make or break a team. I mean, that morale. You pull out a game like that, it does so much for a team. You lose like Arizona did. It's hard to come back from that after in the coming week.
And
right?
you finish the game. I'm assuming BYU's flying home tonight. The energy on the flight home is good. You get home, go to church, get in on Monday morning, and your energy is upbeat. You're like, man, what a weekend, rather than, oh, man.
Well, I don't know.
We should have pulled that out.
A 2 a.m. flight, I'm not sure how high the energy will be.
It'll be high. It'll be high. It's an hour flight. They'll all be bumping music.
But
It'll
I feel
be
like
fun.
this week in practice, it gave you a lot of things still to work on, right? Sometimes when you win and you win these blowouts, you're feeling good. You feel like, oh, yeah, we can improve, but there's not specifics to work on. This game, there's a lot of stuff to work on, but we still got out with the win and we feel good.
Well, we got some injuries. We had quite a few guys. Raider going down. Yeah, luckily Tanavasa will just be out for just this game, right? He won't miss any next game.
Yeah, he'll be good.
Targeting.
I am worried that Raider maybe broke a rib, though.
Yeah, that wasn't good.
That hit him right there.
And he's been playing well lately, too. He's been one of the bright spots that I wasn't necessarily expecting. He's been really good.
Yeah.
But ready or not, here we go.
Yeah. Well, we're in the gauntlet.
We're in it.
And you could tell from that game what a step up in everything and competition and what's asked of us, emotions, all of it.
So I wanted to go through a few stats because there's a few things as I was looking through that kind of stood out. Thought maybe we should talk about them for a second, but so Bear was 12 of 29 for 172 yards, one touchdown, 2 interceptions, but he had 22 carries,
which
for 89 yards and 2 rushing touchdowns. Which
he had 3 touchdowns.
Accounted for 3. LJ Martin 25 carries for 162 yards. And a touchdown.
I didn't realize he had 162 yards in the game. I knew it was 7 yards per carry, but it just didn't seem like he had 25 carries. Bear was running so much.
What did his final average per carry? Can you see that?
For LJ?
No? Yeah.
6.5.
So almost 7 yards per carry.
Yeah.
Set you up for a 2nd and 3 every single time.
But in that last, in overtime, they weren't giving it to him,
I didn't
which
love
kind of surprised
I
me.
was
the
shocked.
calls in overtime of just so many design quarterback runs when LJ has been having the game. As I'm also a Ravens fan, and it gave me some like, oh, why don't we ever hand the ball off to Derrick Henry? PTSD.
Every play.
Yeah. It's the same thing. I'm like,
Yeah.
stick with what's working. Like, why change it up in these moments when you really need it?
It surprised me in overtime, especially in the red zone. It seemed like they didn't go to LJ as much. I don't think that in overtime, I think we handed it to him once in the first overtime.
Oh, yeah.
But I was really surprised.
Yeah, there was
handing the ball
once or twice.
Yeah,
Well,
something like that.
I think maybe not at all in the first overtime.
Because we
and
did
in the second overtime, we handed
It's a blur.
Well,
It's a blur.
in
Well,
that
some of
first
that may have been
overtime-
the read. Some of that may have been Bear's call
well,
too, right? Because sometimes there's an option there.
No, but
No.
Keith made a good point in this. Yeah.
So that first play, we threw it to the end zone. We tried to hit Chase in the corner.
So all of a sudden we find
So
ourselves.
then we're
second and 10.
behind, and then we threw it anyway 2 more times, and then we had to
field
kick.
Yeah.
But
That's right.
which does confuse me a little bit. There were a few actually coaching calls, play calls that I wasn't sure about. One was throwing on a first down in overtime when we're running. So
Well, listen to this though. You might think if you're Arizona, you might be like, okay, they've been running the ball down our throats.
They're gonna run it.
BYU's like, we score a touchdown right here. They kicked a field goal, so we score a touchdown. It's over. We catch them on their heels. We throw it to Chase Robinson in the end zone. Touchdown. Game's over.
Yeah.
And that's one of the
But
things
you
I do
have
love.
a little more flexibility if you first had that run.
Yeah.
And you're at 3 yards left.
Yeah.
That's one of the things I love and hate about Aaron Roderick's play calling, right? I love that he catches teams on their heels. He does the unexpected, but sometimes the unexpected, when it doesn't work, you're just like, why didn't we go
That
with
made no
what's working?
sense.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in a game like tonight, when Bear was 12 for 29, not saying he played a terrible game, but 12 for 29 isn't necessarily like, we're throwing the ball all over him. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're running the ball all over you with LJ Martin. So I think handing
Well,
it
they
off
hadn't
to him
allowed
hurt.
until tonight. Arizona had not allowed a passing touchdown this season. So, their defensive backs are some of the very best in the country.
Yeah.
So to rely on a true freshman, which he still is, right? Learning through his first pick last week, right? We're thinking, okay, he's coming into this maybe, and then he throws another couple of picks. So coming into that to rely on the pass against their defensive backfield, maybe it was
the picks he threw today, especially the one that he was running across the field, kind of
Threw it on his back foot.
threw on his back foot, and it looked like the guy was open.
Yeah.
And I can't remember who it was, maybe Kingston. Looked like he was open, and the DB, I think that was what is going to wake him up to, okay, this is what these level of DBs, those are the plays they can make. You might not see him there to make the play, but he's there. He's watching you, just waiting for you to throw.
and that was a great play by the defensive back.
It was.
And it wasn't necessarily a bad read from Bachmeier. It's just that Bachmeier didn't set up. It's one of those plays that
And the
that
receiver kinda
quarterbacks, you want a scrappy quarterback, a guy who can create a play when things are falling apart, right? And that ball had been snapped over his head. He turned around, he made the play to get the ball, rolls out. But when a quarterback tries to be a hero, right? Sometimes that back, and so the ball was floating a little bit more than he normally does because he's thrown off the back foot. And the receiver, for whatever reason, right? At that point, the play's broken, the route's broken, but the receiver didn't cut back toward the ball either, and it allowed that
kind of
defensive
stopped
back
for a second, was like waving his hand to get his attention, and
Yeah.
But that's something you learn as a quarterback.
it was the first game that
To not make
there was
that
a couple
throw.
moments that I was like, he is a true freshman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which you expect.
Yeah.
And we've forgotten,
It's not a bad thing.
we've been spoiled to forget that he's a true freshman up to this point. But in games like tonight, when the way he played down the stretch was phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
That's not true freshman
That's not true. And that's
not true freshman.
because he bounces back. It doesn't let that
Exactly.
get him down. He's making plays.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And when he throws an interception, he buckles up the chin strap and pops out there to the next drive and is making plays. And they're happening, whether they're running plays or throwing plays. I mean, the throw he had to Parker Kingston across the middle, he was wide open.
Yeah.
But that had zip on it. There was zero hesitancy. He just snapped it right to him with velocity for the touchdown.
You can tell how relaxed he is because of that mouth guard hanging out of his mouth. Yeah.
Well, I don't know. And for a true freshman, the grit he plays with, getting that, I think it was the last touchdown in regulation, getting in the end zone. I mean, that was a great effort, and diving and stretching with that ball. And
anyway, with that, like
great.
after the kind of chase catch, that wasn't a catch, but I think it was. Like, I mean, there was so much for him to be kind of roller coastery with, and he just stayed consistent.
Well, then the 3rd and 11, this was on the last drive of regulation. 3rd and 11, Chase Roberts drops it.
Yeah.
That's and our hearts sink.
Yeah.
So unchased.
Because that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
So you have, I believe it was, maybe it was 11, maybe it was 7, 4th and 7 to Parker Kingston just on the sideline. That's a throw. That's a far throw that you have got to put on the money or you lose the game. That's the game. And Bear Bachmeier, what quarterbacks make that throw? There are a lot, but what quarterbacks? I mean, they're college quarterbacks, but you're a true freshman in that moment.
Lots of quarterbacks
game
make
on
that
the
throw.
Okay.
But he made it too.
He made it.
Yeah.
He made it. And it was with poise on 4th and 7.
no, and
if you don't make that throw, the game's over.
And it was as accurate as could be.
On the money. And okay, I just made a good throw. My receiver dropped it and goes out, does it again, converts, and we go down and score.
Well, and how many make that throw? Maybe quite a few, but how many make it when that situation with that kind of pressure?
Exactly.
A lot less.
And that's the kind of thing that like gets you into the talk of, okay, you're a starting Power 5 quarterback to you're a really good Power 5 quarterback.
To
And
Heisman.
And I'm not, okay, he was 12 for 29 with 2 picks.
Tell you what though, Noah Fafita impressed me.
Oh, yeah. Our last week's episode when we were talking up Noah Fafita, he's really good.
He is really good.
That was deserved.
Even at 5, whatever he is, feet tall.
Really
Yeah,
good.
they said 5'10",
But he looks so comfortable
He looks.
when the ball, and that's another thing, maybe we'll get into it, but our pass rush didn't look like what I wanted it to.
Yeah.
Maybe their offensive line's just amazing, but
Is that due
forever
to
He had a
some
lot of time
injuries?
to make some plays.
We had a few players out,
Yeah.
Like Jack Kelly.
like Jack Kelly. Well, and then we had Tanavasa go out, which stopped.
Yeah.
We were getting a lot more pressure in the middle with Tanavasa.
Here's my thing. If we're the team that we talk here week in and week out that we want to be, we have to be okay with Tanuvasa getting
That's true.
sidelined.
Yeah.
We have to be. Jack Kelly could have torn his
We have to
ACL,
depend on our depth.
and we still have to be able to be a team.
Yeah.
Because if we have 22 good players, we're in trouble.
Great teams. There's lots of good, very good teams that by the end of the season get it to postseason particularly. Yeah, they're not going anywhere because they lose their depth.
If we're hoping for 8 and 3,
have depth.
if we're
That's
hoping
the
for
difference
8 and
between
3,
the greatest
7 and 4,
Yeah.
then we don't need the depth, and we can talk week in, week out. Oh, he was hurt. That's why we didn't have the pass rush. We need the pass rush.
The biggest difference between the Alabamas, Ohio States, right, Georgia's, right, is the depth that they have.
Mm-hmm.
Is that their second, third string guys are coming in and there's no drop off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so it doesn't it's a bummer. You got
but we're
hurt,
making progress. We're making big progress that way.
So is the problem that we didn't send enough guys, or was it and we were dropping too many to try and make sure we cover a great quarterback with great receivers? Or was it just we weren't getting the pass rush because Kelly's out and I
think there was a little of both. I mean, there were definitely some plays where it was clear we were dropping more guys and we weren't pressed. We only had, there were four guys.
Yeah.
4 guys coming in and Fafita was getting a lot of time.
He had so much time. Taylor and I were saying even Keith couldn't cover those guys.
Yeah.
How many seconds?
Even Brian Keith couldn't have made
it. I don't believe it.
How many seconds were they having to cover?
Are too
Like
young
6?
to remember Keith in his prime.
Yeah. Okay.
Come on.
You're right.
Seconds. I think there was several times that was over 6 seconds he was standing.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
It really was. I had to pat him on the back.
Yeah.
I had to pat him on the back. Okay. You're right.
Yeah.
It seemed like the
Real quick, I have to say, when I was running routes against Keith, It was like, I mean, I could run around for 15 seconds back there. It was like on me like a glove, man. I'm stopping, cutting, ducking, razor routes.
Does that say more about you or Keith?
Yeah. Wait a minute. This is the same
That was
David with
back-
the busted
that was back when I
knees,
was
or
running 3.6s.
oh, yeah,
When I was running 3.6s, he was covering me for 15 seconds.
yeah. 3.6
all I could
minutes.
do was run straight. So
3.6 minutes.
and our sister was throwing the ball and she couldn't throw over 10 yards. So I had it covered. So
Our pass rush almost seemed like they were all trying to contain Fafita from running. It seemed like they were like, okay, get a push, don't let him run. Get a push, don't let him run.
That's true.
But and our defensive backs didn't look like they had a good enough game to guard for 15 seconds.
Yeah.
And I think we had good coverage for the first 3 or 4, but it's like you start scrambling and you don't know where someone's going to cut.
There was definitely some effort to just contain.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, don't let Fafita get outside of us, which is important, right? But it also is also cut in on there didn't seem to be quite as much blitzing in this game.
Kind of like what Keith mentioned last week, where he's like, maybe the most dangerous quarterback is the one that can run but doesn't.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what it felt like. Like we were,
Good point.
we were nervous about that, and he could extend plays because of it, but he rarely just took off and ran on us, but he gave them enough time to then make that throw. And how many times did we have him on 3rd and long, and then he just made that throw when he had to?
Also, when you're preparing to face a quarterback like that, there's a lot of what can we do to contain him? But there's also a lot of he's a really good quarterback and we're going to have to survive the plays that he's going to make, because it's not all scheme to know how you can shut down an all-star player like he was tonight. And I think BYU did pretty well at bouncing back after he made those big plays and containing him enough to force punts, force turnovers where you could. But
in the middle of the game, we had the rain delay, or I guess toward the beginning. I felt like going into it, we were playing really well.
Mm-hmm.
It really killed momentum. And then coming out of it, we went for it on 4th down. I got a text from one of our fans of the show. Shout out to Matt Grandin for
Front of the show.
Thanks, Matt.
Anyway, he wanted to hear our thoughts on that 4th down fake punt that we didn't get. And anyway, what do you guys think about that?
I think we missed it.
I understand it.
There you go, Matt.
I understand it that you want to get that momentum back, the spark,
Yeah.
but also you're up 14-7 at that point, and maybe that's not the time to do it.
It's kind of like what David was saying, where it's like A-Rod likes to find people on their heels, and sometimes that's awesome and sometimes it's not.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like one of those, okay, maybe that wasn't the time, A-Rod. Like,
Although I think it was there. I mean, as far as a call, that the guy that came up, the defender that came up and made the play, made a great play on it. And Vanderhaar's he's a punter.
He's a punter.
Right? But just a little shift, a little hesitation, he would have had the first down.
Yeah.
I mean, it was right there.
And then we'd be thinking it was a great
sure it was risky, right? And then we would have all been
It's
cheering
true.
him on, saying, "Wow, that was
we
amazing."
love it when it works.
And I think that's Kalani's call all the way. That's
usually
Kalani all the way.
that's yeah.
You know, I didn't love the call, but I just wish we were in a little bit better field position to do it. If we had been on,
Where were we?
We were about the 30, 35.
Oh, was it that far back? I was thinking we were closer to the 50.
no,
Not
if
quite.
we were a little more, if we had, another 15 yards, 20 yards, I would have felt much more comfortable. We were a little bit behind on a 4th. If it was a 4th and 3 or 5,
Then he would have got it.
yeah, but a 9, that's a stretch.
It was
right?
2
It was
yards
a tough-
short.
It was
So
a tough one,
what yard line is your comfort level for a fake punt?
I feel like the 50.
yeah.
I'd say even if you're on like your 45, 40, depending on the yardage, if it's 4th and 3,
The yardage does change it.
I mean, remember when Johnny Linehan went for the 4th and 19? We brought him up twice from the end zone of Boise State. He gets a few
We
yards.
just lost Kalani as a friend of the show.
And Johnny. Johnny
wasn't
leans
Johnny's
into
call.
it. Johnny leans into it. He loves it. Oh man. No, but I was talking with my friend Jackson Rowley, friend of the show, and he said something that made a lot of sense. With all that momentum, the rain delay made a big difference in Arizona's favor. BYU didn't score in the second or third quarters.
That was the first time in 33 quarters. Right?
First quarters in a long time, and there were 2 back-to-back, and we were looking like we were going to roll all over them early in the game.
Yeah.
Running, passing, everything. It looked like they can't stop us. But
what changed? I mean, we came out, we're up 14. We go 2 quarters without scoring. And then in the fourth quarter, when we had to do it, when our backs are against the wall, all of a sudden we're able to move the ball and score. What changed between the start of the second quarter and the really the last half of the fourth quarter?
It kind of felt a little bit like emotion almost. Like it felt like that
the rain delay?
No. The targeting that then got called back, Isaiah Glasker's, and that lit a fire. I felt like under the defense, under Kalani, and that seemed to then kind of be a switch for the defense. And then our offense kicked back in the fourth quarter.
Well, and I'd say urgency, right? Like they knew coming out, they needed to get a fast start, and they came out on fire and they hit the fast start. And then you kind of get this rain delay. You're in the middle of the game. There's not urgency. You're just kind of going through it. And all of a sudden we're down and it looks like we're going to lose this game. And I think we decided, hey, it did seem
like we came out flat out of the rain delay.
Yeah.
Think about what happens in the rain delay though. A lot of people don't understand. You go into the locker room, maybe you're talking about the game like it's halftime, but you can't talk about the game like it's halftime for 2 hours. And so BYU's in the locker room, probably dancing to music because we're up 14, we're probably like, oh, okay, this is great. Arizona's probably like, hey guys,
what are we going to do?
To the drawing boards. What are we doing? How are we changing this?
Adjustments now.
If you're a coaching staff, you can almost readjust your whole game plan. Like, okay, this is what they did for the first quarter. Yeah. And so
what's BYU going to do? They're not going to go in there and adjust.
Because they've been playing
it's
well.
Working.
Exactly.
They're up 14-0.
Yeah. That's one thing you don't think about is the rain delay is just a bunch of guys in the locker room hanging out. Really. They could have been watching other football games. Like you don't know
that's what we did.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you want to be focused on your game, and you are, but when it's an hour and a half, 2 hours, I mean, you can't.
You have no idea. Yeah. I mean, it could be 4, it could be
exactly.
canceled.
It could go on forever. You could be out there in 20 minutes. So, I don't know. I think maybe just a little bit of lack of energy as well as adjustments during the break.
And for those of you out there who were looking for us during the rain delay at the game, hoping you'd see us, well, because it was hurricane weather. Right. We decided to forego our trip to Tucson.
We left at halftime and got on a plane back.
Back here.
So, look for us at the Utah game this week. I don't know who's going to be there, but
we'll get a representative.
Yeah.
One of us
will be there.
Yeah.
Or 2 or 4 of us, whatever.
Yeah.
So Keith, you're a defensive expert. What grade would you give BYU's defense in that game?
We struggled covering the pass, and we struggled getting the pressure on the quarterback. And I know it's a great team, so I don't know that I want to give us a terrible grade, but I'm going to say probably like a C+. A lot of room for improvement, but it was quite an offense we were going against.
I don't know. I would give something a little bit higher than that.
Yeah. I'm going to challenge your grade.
Just because
I'm going to challenge your grade because really 219 yards receiving. Yeah, that's a lot. Noah Fafita is a dynamic player. 164 yards on the ground. We kept them under 400 yards.
We are the first team this year to hold them under 400 yards offense.
Really?
Yeah.
They've got a good offense.
Yeah, I'm throwing this too then.
To who? It's not.
All right, fine.
No. He's the defensive expert. Maybe it was a C+. Maybe we should all be reconsidering. But I do agree that there were times when it felt like we could not stop them.
Yeah.
They were just going to move. And especially in the second and third quarter.
The middle of the game.
Like, man.
Yeah.
And then in the first and fourth quarters, it kind of felt like, man, they can't move the ball on us. So it's hard. Inconsistencies.
Inconsistent for sure.
That was kind of that whole game. Felt like it was just inconsistent.
That's been BYU all year.
Yeah. We still haven't
hate to
seen
say
that
it.
game that we talked about last week of like just great the whole time, or you're not like, which version are we? Or maybe that's what we are is.
Well, and it's crazy because BYU rolls out and somehow on that last drive after an absolutely horrendous, the last two drives, the drive with the field goal was a really good drive too.
Yeah.
But somehow when Bear rolled out there for those last two drives, I expected him to score and I thought he would score, even though he hadn't for so long. And our offense was looking really not good for a long time.
So did David. I was saying, oh man, we might have to see how we handle this podcast tonight after a loss. Right before those last two drives.
I never lost the
David was like, no. David was
challenge.
It was like
Our challenge flag throw.
I said, okay, if we get this 3rd and 7,
He did.
And then I think that's the one that Chase
dropped.
Yeah.
And then we got
Parker,
4th.
Yeah. And then I was like, all right, maybe.
A lot had to go right there.
Yeah.
I'll never lose faith in him.
Well,
until it's over.
Maybe the team that we are is a team. I mean, you're never going to put together a perfect game, right? There's always going to be ups and downs in a game. You want everything to work out, but they found a way to win a game, which you think about even last year's team, which we felt like was a really good team. And there were a lot of games like that we felt like, and you can't use it too often because then all of a sudden it doesn't.
Because then you do lose. Yeah.
Right. But it does happen.
But great teams find a way to win the close games.
Drop in the comments if you think we're a team of destiny or not.
Okay.
I think we might be a team of destiny.
We're definitely a team of destiny.
Really quick though, you know how on ESPN it has the thing where it's like the little tracker of like
percentage?
Oh man, and you had no chance down here.
0 and then
BYU Arizona had a 95.6% chance to win with 7 minutes left in the fourth quarter.
When we still needed to get a field goal.
I challenge that. I disagree.
No, but look.
You see what happened.
ESPN's not hiring.
My challenge was right.
Yeah, your challenge was correct. But I mean, it's just kind of fun to see that. That was a fun game. A really fun game.
Yeah.
Okay, my offensive grade. I would say offensively, the way we finished the game definitely brings my grade up because those last two drives plus the two overtime drives were awesome. And Bear showed the grit that he didn't show in the second and third quarter. When you can bounce back from that mid game, I would give our offense a B- because the middle of the game can't be that bad all the time. But week in, week out, we keep saying this about the offense is it didn't look perfect, but they made it happen.
But they got it done.
And how many points did we score in this ball game?
Yeah.
33. Yes, 2 of those were overtime scores, right? A field goal and a touchdown. But 33 points should win you a lot of football games. And if our offense can keep doing it, we're not having 14-point wins or 14-point losses. We're putting up points and making it happen. So,
well, and one thing I love is that our offense pulls through when our defense struggles. And we've got a great defense. I think everybody knows our defense is very, very good. And when but like I said, not any particular aspect of the team is going to be perfect all the time. And it seems like when our defense struggles, our offense has been able to step up at those times and say, okay, it's on our shoulders now.
Mm-hmm.
And vice versa. When our offense has struggled, our defense really has come through and pulled out some games that
and even scored some points.
It feels like both units trust the other unit, and Kalani trusts both units.
That is so big for the culture of a football team, because if you think about it, yes, everyone's on the same team, but in a lot of college practices, you go and you show up and you get to practice and it's offense over here, defense over here. Mm-hmm. You're almost completely practicing, except for special teams, obviously in like conditioning, things like that. Those will be combined, but it's offense and defense. And so if your defense is lights out and a team wins, like let's say your defense gives up 10 points and you lose. sometimes there's some animosity. The defense is like, man, we're giving up 10 points and you guys can't win us a ball game. Sometimes there's that back and forth. I think it's really good that both units have faltered at times, but then the other has picked them up. And there's kind of that camaraderie of team chemistry as well as culture that's building at BYU that really, I mean, you think about any, like, I'm not meaning to call out our rivals that we play next week, but Utah's defense last year was really good.
Yeah.
And their offense couldn't score points.
Yeah.
And their defense was lights out the whole time.
And there's got to be a time when that continues where the defense is just like back there shaking their heads.
Exactly.
When the offense is on the field.
The defensive guys are like, man, we got to transfer. Our offense can't score. We don't have a quarterback. And that really causes some bickering in the locker room, whether it be vocal or just chemistry. Everything's off.
Yeah.
And so BYU's got that going for them. It's both teams have lifted each other up.
I love to see it when a defensive player comes off the field and you expect the defensive players to be like, yeah, you know, like he makes a play, makes a tackle, does something well. And the defensive players all running up, you know, jumping and all excited for him. But when you see an offensive players all over there congratulating the defense and vice versa, I love that.
You
that
realize
shows
it's
a lot about chemistry. You're just like, okay, this team is.
And that's what Kalani has done well his whole time at BYU is he's made sure that it's a team. It's BYU football. It's not offense, defense. It's not this player, that player. It's BYU football. And that's what it seems like he's done well. Our
offense seemed to come through and move the ball when we needed to. Yeah. I mean, it wasn't perfect. We still had some turnovers and so forth, but we were able to move the ball on the ground when we needed to. We were able to move the ball through the air and I wasn't sure we were going to move the ball through the air, but we moved the ball through the air. We had a few drops, particularly Carson Ryan. I don't know what happened with Carson Ryan because they were keying in on him. I predicted he was going to have a big game the first drive. Carson Ryan gets 2 passes, drops them both. I don't think they ever threw to him again, and I don't think it was intentional. That's the way it worked out. But I would say offensively, overall, I think our offense performed a little bit better than our defense tonight. So I'd have to say if we gave the defense a B-, I'd have to go with a B. Well,
a B.
A B.
Whoa, waiting for the minus.
They were better than the defense.
Which also makes sense for you because you do like ignoring picks.
Yeah.
You're like looking at the game like
ignoring turnovers.
And turnovers. Our offense was
last week. Our offense was an A+.
Yeah.
We had 2 fumbles, a pick,
2% of available yards.
Okay. There's a reason for that though.
Yeah.
Is because one big play here or there, particularly turnovers, they dramatically change the game, but they're not predictable in a game, right? So when I'm thinking about a game, I'm thinking, you know, what's happening on the line of scrimmage? What are the key matchups in the game? Sure, it comes into play. Am I looking at, okay, their DBs are really, really good. There's a likelihood of some big plays, some turnovers. Sure. But I don't like to factor those in all the time into the quality of the game.
Even though they're the most important factor of the game.
All right, I got to think through this.
Okay.
I'll come back with an answer next week.
Nothing changes the game quite like turnovers, which is why we're going to ignore them.
Okay, before we move on though, I need to defend my defense score. Here's where I feel.
We moved on past the defense.
Quick, Keith.
I'm jumping back. I think our defense is really good. I think they can do so much better than what we saw. And so I think that's why I put him at a C+. I think
we expect a lot out of him.
Higher ceiling, and I think we've seen it. And, you know, yes, it was a very good offense we're going against, but I just think they can do a lot
relative
better. They're a good defense.
High they could score.
Yeah.
Okay, then I'd
on a curve.
Then I'd give them a C. I actually would lower that. Then if we're talking about what their ceiling is, because I think they got a high.
Are you saying the offense is now a C?
Defense is C, offense C+.
Offense is maybe a C+. Okay.
But if you throw out turnovers.
Based on that.
Listen to this though. One thing I'm a little concerned of offensively before we're done. We need to find some more depth at running back because we've got some injuries. LJ Martin had 25 carries. Bear Bachmeyer had 22. Our punter had 1. Preston Rex had 2 carries for 1 yard. So the only person that got more than 1 yard. No, there were three people that got more than 1 yard rushing. LJ Martin with 162, Bear Bachmeyer with 89, and Sam Vanderhaar, our punter, for 6 yards. So the usage that LJ is getting, I mean, that's a lot. It's clanging and banging, and we've got a season coming ahead.
Do we know when Moa's back?
I don't know when Moa's back.
Well,
I think it might be. I think it might be 3 or 4 more weeks.
Maybe worse than that is the pounding you're putting on Bear, because you also need him to be a quarterback. How many games can you have him have 22 carries?
Well, I think that's intentional. I mean, I don't think it's just we're doing that out of desperation. I think they like the way Bear runs, and I think they're running this offense that way. And I don't think it's a depth question with our running backs. I don't think we're lacking in depth. I mean, Preston Rex, sure, he only had a couple of yards, but he had one really nice run around the end. And then, then there was a play that was broken up with him in the backfield. But, I think we've got the depth. I think we're just not using it very much yet. And I'm not sure why that is. And it might be because we have Bear and Bear's running so well.
And LJ.
But should we worry about him getting hurt? I do.
When you've got a running back, look at any NFL team, look at any successful college backfield. It's not one guy. It's rotation. It's different types of backs. It just concerns me. And maybe it's because LJ can do it all, or maybe it's because they've been watching our podcast and they know that LJ needs 1,500 yards for my prediction. So maybe they're just saying, all right, hand it to him.
Is the other running back.
Yeah, that could be true.
Well, LJ had a great game toward your 1,500 yards.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's only at 490. It's not looking too hot. But come on, LJ. It would be something.
We're going to need him.
That would be a prediction.
Need him in the next couple games.
Yeah. So outside of Bear, who I think was player of the game, even though he had a couple of picks, which don't count really for anything.
Wait a minute.
Right. Outside of Bear, what were key players or situations that stood out as strength that are positive signs moving forward for this team that maybe didn't stand out in previously?
I feel like Alexander had a game.
Yeah, Trey Alexander.
He made some great plays. Yeah.
He did.
He had some great plays.
Parker Kingston 2 weeks in a row has a couple big plays, and that punt return was big.
I was so close to my prediction.
That punt,
if that block had been there, I think he would have scored on that.
What was up with Mamba on that read, on that block?
I don't know.
I mean, I love him to death, and he's a great player. But it's just like he didn't see it turn the other way
and went to blocks.
Yeah, there was one guy coming. It looked from any angle I could imagine. It looked like, hey, he was right there, ready to make the block, and it would have been.
Well, he did look.
Actually, didn't hurt us in the end.
Inside toward maybe other guys coming, and that was their punter. So he may have thought, hey, he can make a move on that punter. I'll turn in to look to this guy, but I don't know.
Or maybe he's like our high school quarterback. My junior year of high school. So for some unknown reason, we couldn't figure out, he was very accurate to one side of the field. And we would run, I was running back. We'd run the running back out into the flat a lot and throw, these swing passes out to the running backs a lot. And so, I'd run to the right. He would always just overthrow me. It was just very inaccurate. He'd throw down to the right side of the field. He's missing passes out in the flat on the right side. Super accurate at the left side of the field. Never said anything. He's actually quite a talented quarterback, but that hurt us. After the season, my coach comes to me and says, he didn't want to say anything, but he just told me, don't share this. I don't want him to feel bad. But he was blind in his right eye.
Oh, no.
So do you think the same thing with Bamba?
Maybe. That's what I'm saying. Maybe
he just couldn't see him there.
Maybe he needs to go in for a little corrective
Maybe his face mask.
eye surgery.
Oh, man. That's funny.
It was twisted. You never know. You never know.
Like, that
Got
makes
some dirt
sense.
in his eye on that play. I don't know.
Makes sense why you never completed a pass on the right side of the field.
You can't see over there.
You're like turning your whole head. That's funny.
It sucks to be lined up on the right side every time. Yeah.
The poor receiver on the right side.
It was always David.
He would have been Jerry Rice if his quarterback wasn't blind. Oh man.
So So who really stood out? We talked about
Kingston, 2 weeks in a row, Kingston.
Yeah.
That's
He had,
good.
what, like 117 yards?
Yeah. Oh, he eclipsed 100 again.
Yeah.
Yeah, 117 this week.
and Will Farron had another hiccup. Is that something to be concerned about with this?
Seemed like he,
Or is he just
I don't know.
Yeah,
that-
we were kind of talking about
Or was
this.
the holder thing? The ball
And-
was probably wet, and the holder seemed to kind of fumble the ball a little bit
Yeah.
before he got it down.
Taylor, can you show us your holding technique?
No.
We have a ball. Right?
Negative. No. No, holding is harder than you would imagine. though.
Yeah. That's why. Can you?
It really is harder than you would think. I can't demonstrate right now, but it is harder than you would think. And there's a lot that needs to go right from the
is,
snap.
like-
Well, and it was wet. Like
It's just-
And
It's
it's
complex.
operation
No, it is
time.
complex. It is.
It's where's the snap? It's where are you trying to place it? How does your kicker like it? What kind of tilt does he like?
laces
on the ball?
in, laces out.
Laces in, laces out, all of that. And then it's all got to happen like that, really. And you don't think of it. It's difficult.
Yeah.
And I think it was
Says
the
an
hold.
expert holder.
Former
Tay really was an expert
former
holder.
former holder. Yeah,
They always
that was
pick the
me.
guy with the best hands to hold, right?
I don't really worry about Will. I think, he's shown he's got range. He's shown he's got accuracy. The one thing I do worry about, it seems like kickers get a little case of the yips.
Yeah.
And
the head.
And I,
Getting the head
I think he'll get through this. I mean, he's an awesome kicker. But sometimes you see him go the other way and all of a sudden they become unreliable because it's in their head.
Parker Kingston seemed to go through that a little bit too.
Yeah.
But now I think he's snapped out of it. He's gotten that confidence back. You can tell.
He had missed the whole training camp. They were saying that during the broadcast.
Kingston?
Yeah, he missed all of training camp, and so maybe that was part of it. Is that
Well, I know he was injured for a little bit of it, but I didn't know him.
Yeah, that's what they said in the broadcast.
He had a couple golf trips with the boys. He had to miss training camp. So they're just warming him back up.
Yeah.
Practice.
All right. Well, how do we do on our grades? I mean, we on our score predictions. I mean, from
From last week,
right, for this game. How do we do?
Well, we actually have a new segment.
News to us from the producer.
Okay. New predictions.
Actually, right by you, David. We have a championship belt for the winner. And I believe, according to Isaac, our tech guy over here, Taylor is the closest score, right? What
was your prediction?
35-28. Hand it over.
You were.
That's pretty dang good.
We got to verify, Isaac. 35-28.
That's verified. Yeah,
All
I'll take
right.
that. Hand it over.
Stand up. Let's see how that fits. You got to put that thing
I mean,
on.
I don't know if it's gonna fit.
But you're at risk. So, I mean, that belt could be snatched from you.
It fits perfect.
All right.
Turn around a little more. Yeah.
Whoa! I'm just wearing over the shoulder. Like
We just got a few more fans of the show.
yeah, David.
Brooklyn's going to be our number one watcher
Yeah,
this week.
we're gonna have a lot of views from one person. Yeah, thanks, guys. Honored to be here. I don't know what to say, really.
Speech.
Yeah, that's all I have.
So is this a traveling belt?
It's a traveling belt. So for this Utah game coming up with our predictions, that will drop on Thursday. It could be snatched next week.
We might have to go back and see how many other predictions from the first 5 weeks I won, because I think I've had this the whole time. I just think that. I don't know. Keith's been throwing out, I think we're going to win from somewhere between 6 points to 40 points, I think.
I guess that's a wrap for today. You got to catch the next episode because this week coming up, rivalry week,
Utah hate week.
Utah. Yeah, yes. And we got to figure out who's going to wear the Utah hat for the next episode. Yeah, I don't know about that.
We're drawing straws for this one.
We're also going to do some point this week a little breakdown on the blue and white game too. So make sure to watch.
Basketball.
We hope you watched that. It was good, and we got
Talk of the town, honestly.
We've got some really good takes on that.
It is an exciting time to be a BYU fan.
It is. It's the best time.
Yeah.
It's the best time.
Best time to be a BYU.
When football and basketball collide. Yeah. So
Peak season.
it's going to be good, and we will catch you on Thursday. This is All In on Blue. Thanks for watching.
I think that was our best episode.
Hey.